Today on Color Outside the Box podcast.
You can put the kids on a schedule. Mm-hmm. You have time to cook and clean and have your rest time and be fresh when he comes home. Because let me tell you something, don't nothing put a smile on a man's face like walking in the house and smell that dinner is done.
Color Outside the Box is a podcast series that focuses on creating a better you. Whether it's advice about family, relationships, raising children in this technological world, marriage, or careers, we seek to find the answers to help you live your best life. So start your Monday morning off right with me, your hostess with the mostest, Princess Miller, on Color Outside the Box right here on iTunes and everywhere podcasts can be heard. Well, good Monday morning, and thank you for tuning in to the Color Outside the Box podcast with your hostess, Princess Miller, here with my very special guest, Miss Darlene Calhoun. Hey, Miss Darlene.
Hello, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing good. I'm trying to recoup from that last show. Wow, we went deep on some things. If you hadn't had a chance to tune into last week's show, go back and listen to what is the preparation stage for a wife. It is some very good information in that show. Well, Miss Darlene is a wife. She is a mother. She is the CEO of P31 Woman Ministry. So tell us about what is P31?
P31 is the Proverbs 31 woman.
Okay.
That you find in Proverbs 31, 10 through 31 that talks about our role as being the God kind of woman. Mm-hmm. You know, she's a wife, she's a mother, she is an entrepreneur, you know, she is a business woman, and she is busy about her father's business, trying to keep order in her home and pushing her husband into the vision that God has given him for the home.
Awesome. So today's topic, we're going to continue the series, What is the Role of a Wife? So last week we dealt with the preparation stage before you become a wife. Today we're going to talk about, I'm married now. What are my responsibilities? Oh, man. So, Miss Darlene, there's some very interesting concepts or perceptions out there that says, well, I'm not going to be at home all the time cooking and cleaning. He going to have to do some of this. Mm-hmm. I ain't going to be here with these kids all the time. He going to have to do some of this. We going to have to do this 50-50. Mm-hmm. So what do you think the responsibility of a married wife is?
Well, the responsibilities, one is, first, a wife is to be discreet. She is one who protects her husband, who protects his character. Because a lot of times when you are talking about doing the cooking and the cleaning and all of this, the enemy comes in and wants us to be frustrated, and we'll start downplaying our husband or speaking, you know, harsh of him to other people, when one of our roles is, you know, I'm like, if you work as your husband do, then you two should come together and talk about who's going to do this and when. You know, who's going to do the cooking? Who's going to do the cleaning? Are we going to do it together? Are we going to split up these roles? And
there's nothing wrong with that, you know, but the thing is, don't come into the relationship and make the decision for him. Oh, you go.
No. You cannot. I do not recommend you doing that. I do not, you know, cook. What's wrong with cooking your husband a meal? It doesn't mean that you are being a slave or any of those things. You should want to cook for him, you know, and maybe, you know, he is someone that can cook. Sometimes men just can't cook, and it's okay.
Yes.
You know, you can come up with an alternative. You know, one of the things that I did the Meals on Wheels. I would do that a couple of days a week because I worked a full-time job, and it just worked out. So don't shy away from your responsibilities of the cooking and the cleaning, because the world try to make it look like that's a bad thing, and it's not.
No, it's not.
It's not. You should want to do this for your husband. You should want to do this for your kids. And if you find yourself getting overwhelmed, then you sit down and you come up with a plan. You know, you're getting frustrated because you have not made a detailed list or come up with a way to get all of this done. Like, maybe you need to cook for 2 days at a time and eat leftovers a day. You know, maybe you need to set up a day that you wash clothes or whatever it is. But our responsibilities, you know, we are keepers of the home, according to the Word of God. You know, we should want to keep our house clean. We want to keep the kids clean, you know, maintain things.
Yes. I have a friend, and she works. There was a period of time that she was a stay-at-home mom, but she works. And so she shared with me some wisdom, because my job, I'm self-employed, so my hours could be, you know, work all day and then come home and work some more until about 2 or 3 in the morning, which I'm trying to change that. She said, why don't you cook take one day, maybe a Sunday, and cook 2 meals at a time?
Exactly.
And I said, wow. And so I tried it. And I was like, it's really made my life easier, because when you pick up those kids, that's the first thing my kids ask me. What we eating for dinner tonight? No, hey, how you doing? How was your day, mama? You go straight into what we eating tonight. So I think that that's a great idea. You know, maybe cook 2 meals at a time.
You do, and buy you a crock pot.
Oh, yes.
Crock pot.
Oh, yes.
Does wonders.
Oh.
They have the instant pots now. But you do your meal prep, because one of the things we do, like all of us work at the house, so we'll do meal prep on Sunday and prep meals for the week. We'll have like 2 or 3 meals that we're cooking at one time, and all you have to do is just pull it out the refrigerator, pop it in the microwave. You have to be creative. Anything that's going to help reduce the stress on a day-to-day basis. When you get off work, if you don't have to be stressing out about cooking, what are you going to eat, it kind of frees you up a little bit in that area. So you have to plan it. Plan it, you know, especially now if you are a stay-at-home mom or a stay-at-home wife.
Preach right there.
If your husband has been out working all day, he shouldn't have to come home and no food is ready, or the house is not clean, or the kids are not clean, or everybody, you know, he walk in the door and you're saying, oh, I done had them all day, it's your turn. That's not right.
Yes.
That's not fair, because you're at home. You can put the kids on a schedule. You have time to cook and clean and have your rest time and be fresh when he comes home. Because let me tell you something, don't nothing put a smile on a man's face like walking in the house and smell that dinner is done. You're looking fresh. The house is clean. That ministers to him because he contend with so much throughout his day. You know, he want to come home to a place that is of peace and rest and safety, you know. And hey, they say a way to a man's heart is
through his stomach.
But yes, take care of your husband, especially if you're a stay-at-home mom.
Yes. Now I'm one that I operate in the P31 version of the word, where it says she went afar and got food and brought it back. Now that was me for a long time. I went afar to fast food restaurants and brought the food back because I was operating in my P31. But what I had to learn was that stuff is not healthy.
It is not healthy.
And so when I started cooking more, and I like to cook and I can cook, but my time, Lord have mercy. So I had to start to be creative. You know, I have 2 crock pots because I have a growing family. And so I had to get to a place where I have to start to plan. And sometimes it doesn't always work out like that. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't always have time to cook like I should, but I try to make sure that you know, hey baby, I'm gonna stop and get something to eat for the family, because when he comes home, he shouldn't have to come home and say, oh, I gotta go back out and get food. You know. And I've heard some stories of some young wives that were stay at home and their husband come home and they send them right back out the door and tell them, what we gonna eat today? Well, won't you go over there and get me and you something to eat? That shouldn't be.
I've heard some of those same stories.
Or the husband has to come home. They're stay-at-home mom. And he got to cook and clean. And you've been at home all day.
All day.
And that should be an indictment to you as a wife and as a mother, that you're not holding up your part.
You're right.
You know, and so I encourage. I'm not trying to blame anybody, not trying to talk about anybody, not trying to demean. But, you know, I was sharing with Sister Darlene, back in the day, the older women used to take the younger women aside, and they would teach them. Mm-hmm. Some, you know, may have even brought them to their home and say, you know, hey, baby, when you get married, this is how you do. You know, some taught by example. One of the things that I could remember, my grandmother would iron her husband's uniforms every day.
Right.
She always made sure his clothes was clean. She always made sure if she cooked and she invited the family over, she gonna make sure she fixed his plate and set it aside.
Right.
You know, and so those things, you know,
they're lost.
They're lost. And so we need to get back to referencing one another, because one of the things that I've watched my pastor and his wife, and I remember how he said, you know, she would cook for him. She would bring his plate to him. And so when it came time for when she wanted to go shopping, he opened up his wallet. Baby, what you want? Here you go.
Exactly.
You know, and I'm not saying that we're supposed to do that for that.
Right.
But that's him showing his love. That's the way that he knows how to show love to her. And that's her showing him how much she loves him.
Exactly.
And so those things, you know, stuck with me.
It's reciprocal. You know, it's reciprocal. You know, and we can set the tone in the home. We can. You know, if we just... We should want to make things easier for our husband at home.
Yes. We're going to break right there. We'll be right back with the Color Outside the Box podcast. Stay tuned. We got more of this to come with Sister Darlene talking about the role of a wife. I am married now. What are my responsibilities? See you after the break.
What's up, everybody? Trey here to tell you about one of the best gym experiences in Mobile, Embrace Fitness Training Center. Embrace Fitness is more than just a gym. We offer personal training, speed and agility training, golf simulator, golf fitness, boot camp classes, childcare, and even powerlifting. We're open Monday through Friday, 5 a.m. to 10 p.m., and Saturday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. We love families, and kids are welcome. At Embrace Fitness, we believe that a family that works out together will stay together and live healthier and happier lives. So embrace the new you. We're located on Airport Boulevard near Cody Road. Try Embrace Fitness Training Center today. Your first visit is on me.
Princess Creative Productions can provide affordable and professional video services for small to mid-sized businesses. Our in-studio virtual set shoots start as low as $200. Let our expert get to work on your next video project. Call 251-421-4490 to book your next shoot.
And we are back on the Color Outside the Box podcast with our very special guest, Miss Darlene Calhoun. Miss Darlene.
Hello.
Man, this show is so good. We're going to try to stay within our 22-minute range, but we may go a little bit over. I mean, we're talking about what is the role of a wife. And the subtopic that we're focusing on is I'm married now. What are my responsibilities? So we talked about how a wife is supposed to keep the home.
Yes.
Take care of the kids.
Yes.
You know, let's go a little bit further. What are some of the other responsibilities of a wife?
Managing the household affairs.
Yes.
You know, one, don't be the kind of wife that if you know that you guys can't do or maybe can't afford to do something at this time, you know, don't go and just create something that's going to make matters worse in the home. You know, and so we should be spiritually minded. We should be encouraging our husbands. We should be their biggest cheerleader.
Yes.
You know, and because like I said before, they deal with a lot out in the world on their jobs. You know, we have to keep them prayed up. That is one of our responsibilities, to cover him in prayer, you know, and just trust God that whatever he needs that day to get through his day, God is going to provide it for him. And be a listening ear. Don't be the wife that as soon as he come in the door, you want to just give him the kids and this is wrong and that is wrong and we need this and we need that.